Lately we've all kind of speculated on sort of when Microsoft will stop Xbox support, when they'll stop the Xbox consoles. All signs are pretty much pointing towards the end of Xbox consoles as we know it, and I think that's obviously going to be the case. I mean, listen, if you're Microsoft, why on earth would you continue to make expensive hardware that people aren't buying? I think that that's probably why they're pivoting so much, and they obviously had to take the hit from having no exclusive games. And all along, listen, I said that was like the worst strategy you can have. I don't care if they have some kind of well thought out plan that a few influencers think is brilliant. It's like Microsoft has a tendency to be too early with the things that they do. And that's just a fact, and that's hurt them many times in the industry and in technology overall. I mean, if you look at it, remember Hey Cortana? No, people don't really remember Hey Cortana. They remember Hey Siri, right? I mean, Zune was better than iPods. But it was like Microsoft tends to be a little bit ahead of the times, and so we don't really know what the future is going to bring. Microsoft will pivot on a dime to make a dime. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a very interesting video. Like I said, it looks like Xbox, the console, is on its last legs. Now listen, when I talk about Xbox, I'm talking about the console. I know a lot of people and fanboys will be like, Xbox is this and this, and it's a phone, and no. It's a console, and so that's what I'm talking about, the console specifically. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you for watching it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate it. It means a lot to me if you guys would do that. And, at the end of the day, I do daily gaming content. It's fun yet informative, so if that is something that really intrigues you guys, hey, by all means, please like the videos, share it out, all that kind of good stuff. Definitely means a lot to me as just a content creator. Keeps me going and things like that. So if you guys didn't know, yeah, that basically is what keeps me going. Now, according to this, and listen, this guy is fairly reputable or whatever. If in case you guys were wondering. As far as like insiders go, he had all the information on the PlayStation 5 Pro, on Sony's handheld that's coming, on Xbox and stuff. But according to this, the writing's on the wall. Xbox next console will be its last. A reliable gaming insider thinks that Xbox's next generation console release might end up being its last due to how successful its recent focus on third-party publishing has been. Over the past year and a bit, Xbox has made some sweeping changes to its overall focus in the console market. While previously wanting to go toe-to-toe with PlayStation and Nintendo with big first-party releases, its success with Game Pass and growing library of developers pushed it towards giving up on exclusives and essentially turning it into a third-party publisher, which is exactly what they are. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I know a lot of Xbox influencers are like, look, Xbox is dominating the charts, PlayStation's charts. I mean, that's like saying, hey, look, Ubisoft is dominating the charts, or EA is dominating the charts. It's like, that's not really, to me anyway, news, right? It's like they're a big third-party publisher who spent $100 billion plus buying IP and publishers, and hey, they're selling them on other platforms, and so people are going to buy them. I mean, that's pretty obvious. You buy something that sells well, and it's going to continue to sell well, and that's not news to me at the end of the day. But at the same point in time, I've always said you have to have the console in there, man. I hate to think that we're headed towards a one console or one premium console future. That doesn't sound appealing to me at all. And again, I think it really kind of comes down to preferences. But us as fans, we're kind of getting to this point where I don't really know. While there's a lot of controversy on when this change of approach first started becoming clear, obviously Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, Sea of Thieves, Pentiment was probably when it really started, even though Phil Spencer made it a point to say it's not an indication of everything's coming. It's not. But again, you can't really expect executives and CEOs to be honest, and that's just a fact of life. Now, the results have made it very clear that Xbox choice is an interesting one, bringing in a lot more success. Again, I think success is relative. We don't know the long-term success of this because there's only so many older games that they can bring out. And we know that not everything sold well. We know Pentiment sold like trash, Grounded sold like trash, Hi-Fi Rush sold like trash, the two RTS games sold like trash. We know Indiana Jones sold like trash. So, again, just because something is on the chart doesn't mean it's selling like crazy. Forza Horizon 5 probably sold well. But again, you only come out with one of those, it looks like once every 5 years or so. So, I mean, again, and I'm sure Halo and Gears will be, sort of do well at first, just from, the curiosity kind of standpoint. And we'll kind of see how things go after that particular point. But like I said, it's super interesting to see stuff like this. I think that it's, like Sea of Thieves did okay. Even though we know Xbox is supposedly working on another console, there's a lot of rumors that it might be just like a PC with the Xbox logo in it or whatever. The exact topic was discussed with the Insider Gaming team during their most recent episode of their podcast. Bringing up the confirmation that Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is going to be on PlayStation 5 this summer. The team speculates what Xbox's future might look like. Insider Gaming's editor-in-chief Tom Henderson was asked how long he thinks it's going to be until Xbox jumps out of the console race entirely. In response, Henderson said that we know they're working on another console generation, but he thinks after that it's done because Xbox doesn't need to put the time and investment into another console. He says, and I quote, "We know they're going to do one more generation. Then I think that's it. It's done. They don't need to put out all the time and investment into an Xbox console." Henderson speculates that Xbox could be trying an unusual strategy of showing PS5 users how good Xbox games are before going back to first-party releases and tempting them over in the next generation, but doesn't think that's going to be the case. He notes that now more than ever, the writing is on the wall for Xbox's future. Of course, Henderson is simply just speculating about Xbox here and isn't definitively saying anything, but considering how reliable he's been with leaks and rumors, his opinion is an interesting one to consider. Of course, Xbox's next console is still years away, so it seems like we won't know for sure for a while. But, again, Microsoft isn't going to, in my opinion, continue to put out a loss leader. I think I watched some of that podcast, and they talked maybe a little bit more about possibly having, a situation where they would have some type of streaming box or whatever. Microsoft definitely wants to get out of the hardware business. I don't think anyone who watches the news on gaming or watches, this channel or any channel about gaming, I don't think anybody doubts that, because the moves that they make, putting everything on PlayStation, putting stuff on Switch 2, obviously these things are made to get people attracted to the idea of Xbox as a publisher, third-party publisher, and we see, obviously the games themselves not selling particularly well, Xbox consoles not selling particularly well. So, again, I personally think it's quite obvious. You don't have to be necessarily an insider to see that the writing is kind of on the wall here. I wish it wasn't. I wish Microsoft would just be like, oh, it's like, you can't go back and go, just kidding, now everything's exclusive. I think that's like nonsense. You would not have, they already lost gamer trust, right? Let's just be real about it. Like that trust that gamers have, they've long since lost that. But the interesting thing is the fact that some people think that maybe they'll come back to it, or they're going to put the Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation and then they'll launch Forza Horizon 6 exclusively on Xbox. I don't think that's necessarily how these things work. I don't see that happening. If you're a fan who sees them give all their exclusives away in the middle of a generation and give up like that, and then they switch back, are you really going to trust that they won't switch back again if things don't go their way? That's the big issue, and I think Microsoft really have kind of bit the hand that feeds them once too many times. Just in my opinion. You guys might think differently, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. Maybe not, but we'll see. Anyway, I think the next Xbox probably is going to be some kind of nonsense that won't even be a typical console, and so this is really the last real console that we've seen. So let me know what you guys think down below. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.